All right, in lesson 310, it says a new kind of number. Let's invent a new number. Well, the number's already been invented, but we're going to explore this new number. See, I'm using air quotes, new number. All right. Down here on the bottom of page, on page 317, the equation x squared equals 9 has two real solutions. So remember, x squared is a parabola, and it can be 9 in two locations. And those locations are 3, and where else? -3. So that's why we get two solutions. X is 3 or -3. And math people like simplifying notation, so we write plus or minus 3. How many real solutions does this have? Well, same parabola. It hits 0 only once. So x is equal to 0. This is where it bounces. There really are two solutions. It's that repeated solution, that multiplicity idea, but we only really just say x is 0. But it's 0 twice because it bounces off of the x-axis. Now we get to the new number. So we have x squared, and does it hit -1? No. So we say there's no real solution, but there is an imaginary solution with the imaginary number. So here's how this works. X squared is equal to -1. And you're like, well, I can't do that, but we're going to do it anyway. So we're going to say, take the square root of each side. I'm going to say x equals plus or minus. Now, what we do is we define this as our new number. So the square root of -1, we define it as I, the imaginary number. And it's really weird at first, but you'll get used to it, I promise. So this is a definition that we use. The square root of -1 is I. So how did I make my I? You don't want to make, I'm going to go up here to this white space. You don't want to make the I like that because it'll start looking like a 1. So what I do is I do like, that's a cursive I, right? But that's too much work. So I do kind of half a cursive I. So I do that and I hook it. And if you look in books and stuff like that, that's kind of the way the I looks. In our book, it has a little bit of a hook to it. It's different than a regular I. Like, where is there an I in the sentence here? Like here, like the little I with the little period over the top of it. Yeah, they always kind of give it a little bit of a hook to make it be different. So the square root of -1 is I, so we say x is plus or minus I. That would be the answer, two imaginary numbers. All right, next page. So on the real number line, draw an arrow starting at 0 that represents 3. So if we go here, we go, boom, 3, right? So we just go over to 3. Draw an arrow starting at 0 represents -5. So we start at 0 and we go to -5. So we go left or right on the number line. But with the square root of -1, which is our one imaginary number, we don't go left or right on the number line, we go up one space. So we go up one space, up one space. So this would say go up one unit, but do it 3 times. So now we're going to go up 3 spaces. 1, 2, 3. So this would be 3I, or 3 times the square root of -1. This would be -I. So I just go down one space. So -I. And then this would be go down 5 spaces. So there'd be -5I. So I'm going to go down 1, 3, 4, 5, -5I. All right. So there we go. Are you ready for more? So real numbers are all the numbers that you've learned about so far. So, -8 is an integer, negative fractions, pi, square root of 2, 10, they're all just numbers, right? But when we go off of the number line, we go above the number line, we're going one space above, and we call that square root of -1, which is I. So the new number, the square root of -1, is a solution to this equation. We draw a line that passes through 0 on the real number line and square root of -1. We get the imaginary number line. The numbers on the imaginary number line are called imaginary numbers. So it lives off of the real number line. And in the next section, I'm giving this away to you, right? The square root of -1 is I. They don't tell you that in this section, but it's coming up real soon. Okay, so now the purple page, we say, hey, how many of these are true? And then down here, we get to graph these. So plot each number on the real number line, or explain why we can't put it on the real number line. So the square root of a negative number, it's not a real answer. It's an imaginary answer. So we can't do it. Can't do that one. Same thing with this one. You can't do this one either because you can't take the square root of a negative number, right? It's imaginary. Those ones you can put on the number line, so you can do it. When you square something, can it be negative? That's what it's getting at on this question. Review question, good review question, good review question. This one's getting kind of what we did today. The square root of -64 equals 8. No, you can't take the square root of a negative number, so that answer's out. But you can take the cube root of a negative number. This has a double negative, so that one's probably okay. So find the ones that work here. Let me check something real quick. Sometimes I like to give you some hints on these. So at number 6, it says all that are true. There are 2 answers for this. So number 6 has 2 answers. That way you're not sitting there trying to find 3. There's 2 answers that work. And then the other one that's like this is number 1. And so there's 2 answers that work also for number 1. All right, so there's the video.